Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
That's $100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
This is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country.
Floyd Mayweather, who allegedly claimed to have earned over $1.2 billion during his career, is apparently in danger of going bankrupt. Despite showing off his million-dollar watches, mansions, and fancy planes, insiders say Mayweather's careless spending, failed business endeavors, and growing legal bills have cost him dearly, according to bombshell new CNN claims. Some claim the boxing icon is about to file for bankruptcy, while others claim he is discreetly selling assets to pay off debts.
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get.
Floyd Mayweather reportedly earned between $1.20 and $2 billion from prize bouts, endorsements, and appearances, making him the wealthiest person in sports at one point. However, the money was wasted as soon as it came in. Mayweather lived as though the flow of riches would never stop, rather than making prudent investments or keeping his finances stable. His extravagant expenditures, which range from whole fleets of supercars to gold-plated airplanes, characterize his everyday existence. Any sense of financial restraint was subordinated to his drive to be the wealthiest, most flamboyant person in sports. He is now in danger of becoming bankrupt due to the same behaviors that gave him the moniker Money.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least $400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like $100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying? You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
all right, let's see what they say. I mean, exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
In addition to his perfect record, Mayweather garnered media attention for the enormous sums of money he received from his bouts. According to reports, he made around $250 million from his fight with Manny Pacquiao, and the same amount from his exhibition with Conor McGregor. He was frequently touted as the highest-paid sportsman in existence. However, Mayweather utilized his revenue as fuel for excess rather than as a basis for long-term wealth. Million-dollar gambling sprees, lavish parties, and private planes for his entourage were commonplace.
Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back street.
Careless spending has not been the only source of Floyd's financial difficulties. His name has come up time and again in court cases involving dubious commercial endeavors. He was involved in a class action lawsuit in 2022 over a cryptocurrency operation that many referred to as a pump and dump. Despite the case's dismissal, it demonstrated Floyd's propensity to enter into endeavors without adequate supervision. When he was sued again in 2024, this time for allegedly directing his bodyguard to attack a guy, things became more heated. The victim demanded damages over $3 million. The erratic and careless pattern of his financial decisions is further shown by these litigation.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
What things happen? You know, You know, I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. You know, we wasn't seeing eye to eye. You know, she was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, you know, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, you know, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, you know, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, you know, and my children's...
Never one to mince words. Joe Rogan publicly denounced Mayweather's seeming indifference to his tax responsibilities. No matter how wealthy a person is, Rogan cautioned that not paying taxes can lead to major issues with the IRS. And he is correct. Such carelessness has led to the fall of many wealthy people. Rogan noted that Floyd may be concealing severe financial troubles behind his opulent lifestyle. Floyd appears to be following an old blueprint.
I owe that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money that there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
During his peak boxing career, Mike Tyson amassed hundreds of millions of dollars before declaring bankruptcy due to years of careless spending. Tyson had a gold bathtub, palaces, and tigers. Floyd now appears to be acting in accordance with the same damaging strategy. Like Tyson, Mayweather shows off his homes, vehicles, and jewels, but his financial situation seems precarious behind the scenes.
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. You know, it was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada, 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 it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching this sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And and I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains.
It's ironic that Floyd has frequently discussed financial strategy, even mentioning a buy low, sell high strategy for his real estate holdings. However, his words and deeds are at odds. Nobody denies Mayweather's skill in the ring. His reputation as one of the greatest fighters in history was solidified by his timing, defensive prowess, and battle IQ. Few athletes can say they were undefeated when they retired. However, financial intelligence is not always correlated with physical ability. Mayweather's impulsivity outside of the ring stands in stark contrast to his focus and discipline in boxing.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example. I'm gonna just take boxing for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
Yes.
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it.
Yes.
He became the villain.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's own uncle, has even questioned his financial choices. In an open interview, Jeff acknowledged that he no longer comprehends Floyd's unpredictable actions, particularly his disorganized financial habits. Floyd seems to be motivated more by ego than reason, and jumps into commercial dealings without a clear plan. Professionals who are aware of how dangerous those markets can be are alarmed by his extravagant real estate claims.
No idea. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, to better his life, like, buying homes and buying, different things. And so, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So, I haven't seen him in quite some time. And I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, I don't know. But I haven't heard anything.
I know the KSI team would be happy to make their fight with.
As you can see, after watching 24/7S, my wife even developed a passion for boxing. That's all there is to say about today's video, which is the timing of his being his own boss, of which you will make the majority. Keep an eye out